Hello, guys. It's your girl V, and you're tuning into the Think Yourself Better podcast. And you know, we are all about mindset here, and we want you to get your mind right so you can get your life right and think yourself better. I have a special guest that I love having here on the Think Yourself Better podcast. And I am just going to first tell you what we're talking about. Listen, I might be aging myself, but I don't know if everybody remembers the Maya and Cisco song, It's All About Me. That is what we're talking about today. It's all about you, honey bunny, okay? And so we're going to talk about self-love, self-care, all those things. I want my girl to tell you guys a little bit about herself, introduce herself, and then we'll jump right in.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for that, giving me the floor.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm Jay Christina. I am the owner and founder of Radiant Aura Essentials. I also work in a higher education, serving and giving back to my students. And then I also have a love to volunteer as a qualified mental health professional for the state of Texas. And with my brand, Radiant Aura Essentials, it is dear to my heart. We're known to boost your mood, to help you with your wellness, your self-care rituals, 1 cent at a time. And that's basically it.
Okay, now.
Okay.
What the kids doing? My brother be like, Mommy, put your hand down, please. Don't do it. So I want to talk about today. I mean, we see all the time, we know that we have gotten better at talking about self-care and self-love. And, you know, some people get exhausted. I do not care because I had to realize that really, if you don't take care of you, everybody else around you going to suffer, okay, along with you, right?
Ooh.
So jumping right in.
Okay.
Why do you think that women struggle with, and even men? I've realized, you know, like sometimes we just like think it's a woman thing, but men really struggle with taking care of themselves and putting themselves first. Why do you think that is?
So I think through experience, through my reading, through my conversations, I have realized it's lack of having boundaries. Understand saying no is not a bad thing. And just like how when we travel, especially when we're on that plane, what does that stewardess say? Before you help the person next to you, put on your mask on. Put your mask on first. And so just unlearning some of those things that are, I call it historical in our family or in spaces of growth. Well, you got to be there for this person, but we're never taught to say, hey, baby, make sure you're good before you help the other person. Because then we also do this. We like to take the Bible, especially if we're raised in that religious background.
Hallelujah.
Well, you got to serve this, but we're not teaching the right principles of we have to serve ourselves first, serve God, then ourselves then be able to be prepared to help other people. So I think that's where that disconnect is and why we just let ourselves go.
Right.
It's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot.
And I find that really people have begun to look at self-care as a luxury. And it really needs to be, it's the mindset because it's a necessity. I tell people all the time, like, it doesn't even have to, you don't have to spend a lot of money, but like you have to take care of yourself.
Because guess what? Your body gonna tell you. It's gonna break it down. I've been there. It's gonna break all the way down where you can't go nowhere.
Okay. So listen.
I've been there.
So let's talk a little bit about that. So how does self-care start? What do you like? If I'm somebody who, and I'm like, hey, listen, I am trying to understand what it means to take care of me. You said set boundaries. Like you said, you know, feeling like guilty for saying no. I had an author on the show once and she said, no is navigation.
That's all it is.
And that stuck with me. So you can navigate however you need to with the no that I give you. Do what you need to do with it. But my no is my no. My husband said all the time, let your no be your no. That man, he could say no, girl.
Happily.
I mean, he don't say no to me too much. He know how to say no. And then he be like, no.
And be okay with it.
No.
The power of saying
but
no.
I didn't even, no.
And being not feeling like, oh my God, I hope that person still loves me. Oh my God.
I don't want them to be mad
at me or think I'm funny acting, or, oh, she thinks she all that because da-da-da-da-da-da. You got to know the importance of how this life works. You have to understand that you're worth it. Everybody's self-care regimen
looks different.
It looks different, right? You can't compare yourself because, again, social media
will make you think you got to be at the spa, at the post with some dripping gold on you.
Oh, you baby, let me just tell you.
I do wonder how that is.
You know, we God gonna take care of that.
But no, you're right. You're absolutely right. We will see. I will never forget. We were. This is when it was so bad. We had lost everything. It was at the. I felt like I was at the peak of my career. Remember, I was working in radio in Atlanta. We lost everything. And when I say lost everything, all I could think about, if you've ever seen the Miss Josephine Baker movie where they got all her stuff outside. I mean, I never thought I would live that. But me and my husband, we were in Houston. We had been court ordered to be in Houston. And at the time, I was running, with all of these celebrities, influencers, one myself, at the time. And I remember him telling me, do not let social media trick you.
It would trick you, baby.
He leaned over here and he said, did you post everything? Have you posted everything that you've gone through in the last year? You post your stuff outside. Stop letting people convince you that this, whatever the thing is, it gotta look like this because that's what it is on social media. Whatever self-care. And so then self-care for me became a long hot bath with some of them. First it was dollar store candles and up my budget. Now I can get the good candles. Look at you. They know don't come in here. When I'm in here with my meditation music, I'm taking me a hot bath. I'm not drowning. Leave me alone. I'm in here enjoying
setting your space.
So it doesn't have to look like you ain't got to be like you said. I love post-up, right? But you don't have to do what everyone else is doing.
And trust me, they're not doing it.
and listen, we have influencers that will tell you. Listen, they have things that it looks a certain way. It's their job to make you,
those aesthetics. And it's just to have you in that buy-in. And guess what? You're triggered to like, oh my God, I have to do this. But no, I love that for you that you have your self-care bath time. Oh, girl, I love a good bath.
That's better than a spa day.
Isn't that a blessing? And just having to be with your thoughts and just being able to have that peace. And I think also, too, a lot of people are scared to just be there without having by themselves, without having everybody around them. We need to disconnect.
My husband might be smart. I'm realizing after all these years, he might be smart. He told me that before. It's like you don't have to be around people all the time.
No,
be by yourself. Why are you scared to be by yourself? You got to be entertaining people and shucking and jiving for folk all the time. You don't have to be. I think these things that you're talking about is so funny to hear you talk about them because I love to hear people not give fluff, to give real, serious action items, things that people could truly do. Because these are things that I had to do in my life. I had to figure out what self-care looked like for me. I had to learn to be by myself. Somebody who was in front of people all the time, leading people all the time, doing conferences, doing panels, doing this.
You're good at what you do.
Thank you, girl. No, but really, I love those. Already okay. Next one. What next? I need to figure out what self-care looks like for me.
Figure that out.
Understand being by myself.
Being by yourself. Doing something every day.
Ooh.
And it could be 5 minutes. And it's building up consistency. Let me just paint you a picture because I like to contextualize what I'm telling you. You know, sometimes when we sit in that car, that's the best 5 minutes that we need, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And then guess what? You can have some relaxing music in the background, pause your phone for a little bit, and just do some breathing. Or you can look at YouTube. YouTube University teaches me so much. Whenever I feel like I'm lacking in somewhere, YouTube. Find me a video that does this. They have self-guided meditation on YouTube that you can have playing in your background. You can also have your headphones on. But just imagine you doing something 5 minutes a day, pouring back into yourself on a consistent basis. You'll be so laser focused on just making sure that you're good so that you can go back and serve the people.
I love that.
Serve yourself on a daily.
I love that.
You feed yourself.
Even if it just a little bit at
a time. Right? It does not have to be a spa. It does not have to be going to get your nails and your hair done. No, I know we have to look good to feel good. But what are the foods that you're really the motion of the spiritual food? What are you doing what are you really doing to build yourself up and build up your mindset from fixed to growth? What are you doing to really understand how can I tighten up for myself? How can I show up for myself before I show up for other people? And I think if we put that type of regimen in our daily talks with self, because we have to talk to ourselves too, and put that positive self-talk in, that's going to change the game.
I love that. I love that. So for you personally, your personal experience, have you found that have you ever dealt with putting yourself on the back burner, realizing you weren't putting yourself first? And then how did you come back from that?
Wow, that's a deep question. I just had a conversation.
We like to get deep.
I know you be getting deep. Like, okay. I was just talking to one of my close girlfriends earlier today, and we were just talking about self-care, and she just had a birthday yesterday, and I was just kind of recapping, how did it go? And I said, oh, that's so amazing. And then we were just talking about another person and how they really have a full, just nice schedule of how they implement the self-care and what we can do better. And she said, you remember back in the day, she said, Jackie, you had made this statement years ago. She's like, be helping. This is what I said to her. I be helping everybody, but I don't even have time to help myself. I got to change that. So yes, I've been there helping so many people, pouring into so many people, but I was neglecting myself. And as I look back, reflecting, that was not the best. That was a fixed mindset. That was people pleasing, which hurt me in the long run. Pouring from an empty cup, being exhausted. And then guess what? Set myself up a disappointment because I didn't get that in return. Right? So I had to wake up.
Yeah, my brother always says you don't go around expecting people to be you.
You cannot, that part. You cannot set yourself up for disappointment. I had another girlfriend tell me, girl, you got to stop setting yourself up for disappointment. No, baby, put that energy into you.
And so is that what you did?
That's what I did. I put the boundaries in place. I had disconnected to reconnected, got closer to God, to understand and reevaluate what I needed.
Right.
Being able to also articulate what I needed.
Oh, that's good.
Because that's hard. It's good, but it's hard to be able to articulate what you really need from your support system. It could be your friends, your family, but being able to articulate what your needs are. And then guess what was the game changer?
What?
After really getting that closer relationship with God, was going to therapy.
Oh, I tell everybody.
It's a game changer.
Baby, I'm a therapy pusher. You hear me? Baby. And when I talk about getting there and tell you, look here, I hope you're ready today.
It's good.
Because it's all on you, boo.
Because some days are so ugly. Boo-hoo crying, snot coming out the nose.
Just ready to cry. And I don't care either.
But they're out there.
Here.
But that changed the game for me.
For me as well.
Oh, my God. That changed the game, and I just want everybody to be able to experience that.
For me as well. When you find a good therapist.
Absolutely. Say that one more time. When you find
a good
therapist. Say it with me. When you find a good therapist.
It will change your life. Really. And then I think that in our culture, one of the things that we have struggled with is feeling like, I don't know who told us that you had to be running around with a pot on your head, going crazy before you went to therapy. That is just not
Or
true.
You know what the other term was that we were told from our ancestors. from the grannies on down. You better not talk about what goes up in this house.
What goes on in this house
it stays in this house.
And I think that when you go to therapy, like when you really have a really good therapy session, and it's a safe place.
Absolutely.
That's what I love, because I don't care what nobody tell you. You got some stuff that you thought in your head that you can't tell a regular person.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
They might say they're not judging you. But my therapist, baby, I don't care what I tell her. I don't care what she think. This is what I'm thinking today. And I want to tell it to you, and I'm feeling this way, and I dump it all on her. And I tell people all the time, like, I have no guilt in dumping all of that on her. And she takes it and she gives me what I need, the listening ear, challenges me.
Doing the work part.
The work, don't get in that line. If you go to therapy line, y'all be shut. Ain't no need. Stay home, baby.
A good therapist also check you. Like, hold on. You said da 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 da. So hold on. You were.
She almost got you. I almost had to get with her a couple times, but listen.
Right.
I really do believe that therapy changes your life. Okay, therapy and Jesus is really for real, right? You mentioned something. You said people pleasing. What did you tolerate? What did your unhealed self tolerate that healed you just ain't doing no more? What was something or some things that you found that you would tolerate that you just like,
People thinking that they can just take and take and take and take.
And keep on taking.
And keep on taking. Or see all the hard work that I'm doing and just want to jump on the end of the dress and hold on and be a part of that mission. What Drake say? You weren't with me shooting in the gym.
Ooh.
So I had to understand that I can't take everybody with me.
Ooh.
I had to.
That is so difficult for us.
It can be.
It can be. So until you figure out how to, that can be very difficult because you want everybody.
Because I want everybody to win. But I had to love myself and know and honor myself after I honor God, get with him, have him direct my path. But I had to wake up and say, that's not what's up. People are not going to respect you. Using you is a totally different game. So once I started putting those boundaries in place, it's like, okay, people were like, oh, no. It's just not at this time. I'll circle back. But, I balance a lot. And I like had to, you have to just understand.
You have to figure, for me, my unhealed self, I think for me, it was allowing people to make me feel bad for holding them accountable and wanting them to show up to their capacity. Because you may not be able to show up how I can show up, but you can show up.
Oh, absolutely.
I was looking at something the other day and the woman was saying people want community, but they don't want inconvenience. And if you want community, you have to be willing to deal with inconvenience sometimes.
Oh, absolutely, because it comes up.
And so now I don't deal. And now there are some situations where you really got to like, come on now. So we're not talking about that, but we're talking about people who want you to show up and want you to be and want you to do. Then when you hold a mirror to them and say, "Hey, listen," it's like, "Well, you tripping. I gotta do this, so I'm on my me thing." Or
is that gaslighting? Is that
and then you ain't gonna gaslight me.
Yeah, it's like gaslighting.
If I find that you're that type of person, then I will disconnect myself.
You run away real fast.
Oh, baby,
because that's so easy.
And I might tell you I'm finna block you. Just depend on my mood. No,
I don't give nobody no.
But
they don't get that opportunity.
Listen, sometimes I like giving a piece of my mind. That's my part. But listen, for real, all jokes aside, I realized that every true friend, every true community, part of my community that I have, they've inconvenienced themselves for me at some time. And I think for people to make you think that you're wrong for expecting that, that is truly gaslighting to me. My brother, who has been on the show, I call him my brother. A lot of people know him, Charmer Charlton Photography. He's our children's godfather. when my son was on life support, it was inconvenient to sit there with me, but he showed up. My best friend would come from work and sit at the hospital for me. That's not convenient. It's not convenient to show up for your friends all the time. But if you want community, you have to be willing to be,
Absolutely.
you have to be, and you set boundaries. But so that was the thing for me that I'm like, okay, maybe I'm tripping. No, I'm not tripping. Heal Me knows that you need to have balance. And you need to have realistic expectations.
Absolutely.
But you should have people in your community that are willing to inconvenience themselves for you sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, I have a blessed sister circle. I believe it's unheard of to have just Black women in aspects of life, leadership. We've been friends for over 15 years.
You're a great friend, though.
Thank you for that. Likewise.
I think that's a beautiful part, and something that you have to understand is that you got to be. And that's it. We always say that in everything. See yourself doing it. Be it before you are it. But we think you got to be a great friend.
It's action.
And you are amazing, like for real, like you are going to be there for your friends. You're going to show up, phone call, events, support, like you were going to be there. And so I think that says a lot about why you have these people around you, because of who you are.
What they say when it comes to that energy, when we radiate off of each other, what's here is going to come to you. And so I think that's where that is. You be present with yourself, and the universe kind of just works its way. It shifts. It brings more people that has that same synergy as you, same mindset as you, and then you just build off of that.
Let's talk about heartbreak and what it does for self-care.
Been heartbroken many times. Ooh.
And I tell people all the time, I'm talking about I've experienced every type.
Friendships, relationships, separation.
Yes.
It puts you in that vulnerable space if you choose to be vulnerable. I always recommend that we get that opportunity to be vulnerable because it helps us grow.
Yes. I was just about to ask you that. How does it help you? How did it help you grow?
That vulnerability helped me just be accountable and say, you know what? I can get through this. Okay, let me evaluate. Did I have a part in this? Because sometimes we become victim in a lot of things. But what did I have a part in this? Okay, this is what I have to do different. Okay, moving forward, let me change it up. Let me write this down. Let me pray over. Let me just get with self. Let me change my behavior. Because a lot of times, too, we could just talk a good game, but what are we doing in the action to change our behavior? Because what I said before, everyone have an opportunity to change his or her behavior over time if they want to. And so shifting that, understanding like, okay, this is what happened. It has happened. I have to move on. Let me cultivate the relationships I know it's healthy to cultivate. And let me cut off the bad brown leaves of the plant, like to contextualize it and say, you know what, let me grow from a different aspect and still be present. When it comes to the self-care, it's that boundaries. Everybody cannot have access to you. Everyone shouldn't have access to you. And so that was something that I learned. I was big on, let me respond as fast as I can while I have to take care of other things, where it's like, okay, I will get to it. Because right now, this is priority. And it's okay to follow up. I'm good with following up now. But you don't have to be as responsive. And it's okay to just chill out a little bit.
Okay.
So those are some tools that I will recommend that has helped me develop a more better relationship with myself. So I know how to maneuver, how to cultivate other relationships in this lifetime.
Okay, so as we come to a close.
Oh, Lord, we're coming to a close.
We like to talk.
We do. We could talk all day.
If you could give any advice to the woman or man who is struggling with feeling selfish, for taking care, putting themselves first, what would it be? Look at the people.
How y'all doing over there? Look, you have to be okay with taking care of yourself. Most importantly, you have to unlearn it. And it does take some time to process that, unlearn that taking care of yourself is selfish, is selfless. Okay? Have your time to yourself and give yourself grace through that process as you navigate this beautiful life, and you can do it. Remember, it's God first, then you, and you need help others. And just take your time with it. You got this.
I just love the way you talk to the people. Because I'll be so rough to me. Listen, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Think Yourself Better podcast. I absolutely love you, and I hope that we've said something to help you think yourself better. Remember to connect with us here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, all that. Tell somebody about us. We love you. Bye.